It's a Hooking Up and Tracking Down show. Going into our 13th season, show dedicated to all outdoorsmen of all levels. Guys committed to giving you the facts about what's happening in the hunting and fishing world. They continue to share stories, information, and give advice on the great outdoors while making sure outlaws are exposed for the bad people they are. So pull up a chair, kick back, and prepare to be entertained as we pull the trigger on another presentation of the Hooking Up and Tracking Down show. Here are your hosts, the legends of outdoors radio, Gary McCoy, Mike Eccles, and Steve Graff.
Hey, thanks for tuning in. We are hooking up and tracking down 11:30 The Tiger, hoping that this week's a little bit different than last week when the first 30 minutes we just talked to ourselves.
Yeah, and it didn't replay Saturday morning.
Yeah.
it came right back to 71 kill like it did on
Oh, really?
Yeah. We missed that first 30
listened
minutes.
to some
again.
of it Saturday, but it was the second hour.
Yeah, I tuned it in to start, and it didn't start like it was supposed to.
This part of the show brought to you by Despino Tire, Steve Nichols Specialty Track Hoe, Primo Targets, Lost Frontier RV Park and Marina, and Bayou Outdoor Super Center. Hey, this spring, isolate yourself with a new RV or motorhome from Bayou Outdoor Super Center, located at 1800 Barksdale Boulevard in Bossier City. Now, listen, guys, what day is today?
April Fools.
April Fools.
Right. Yesterday, big story circulates all over Facebook. LDWF, Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, will fine you $500 if they catch you fishing while the governor's mandate's going on.
Yeah.
$500 fine. People didn't read far enough down.
Yeah.
This was some clown's idea of funny.
Yeah.
They didn't read far enough down that it was all a prank. There's some kind of a prank website that's out there. 22 News.
Oh, really?
Or Fox
I ain't
News
heard
22.
that one.
Yeah.
Really?
It's all a fake. You can create your own pranks
Oh.
and put them on there, which I'm saying, even we had a Town Square Media company dictate that said, hey, this year, not the best idea for pranks.
Right, right.
And especially when you deal with a state like Louisiana, I mean, there's no movies, there's no church.
Yeah.
You can't even
Especially in Baton Rouge.
Well, that guy just got
He got arrested.
he got arrested. Yeah, six counts for this past week. Anyway, you can't go to church, you can't go to the movies. There's no concerts. There's no Little League baseball. That's a good thing. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I'm just clowning
I'm gonna
around.
miss that. That's my favorite. One of my favorite times of the year, Little League World Series.
Oh, really?
I love that, man.
Yeah, mine too.
Yeah.
I know Mike's flued in.
But
Well, I got to text
no,
to go.
no bass tournaments.
Yeah.
I mean, so right now, a prank about fishing in the state. Now, I'm not saying that it'd be a good idea to go hang around the boat ramp with 50
Right.
other hairy-legged guys and sit around and drink a beer.
Little cookie jar deal.
But if you wanted to go by yourself, or you want to take one of your kids fishing, they're not in school right now.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I can't see where that would be anything but therapeutic.
Right. I'm taking Meredith's dog tomorrow with me fishing on Sibley. So,
Hey,
what a good time.
hey.
Hey, also,
But there is no law
Right.
against fishing.
Want to congratulate.
Yet.
Yet?
Yeah.
Want to congratulate Frosted Flakes for winning on the Tim Fletcher Show, the best cereal of all time. It's ranked the #1 cereal ever, and it was a great. Fletcher done a really good job.
Cereal?
Yeah. It was rated #1. It won. You said it like a tournament bracket.
He's been doing brackets.
And
He had
vote
like the best movie and the
on
best
the
movie.
best cereals, and he
Okay.
matches them up head to head.
What one? Frosted
Frosted
Flakes?
Flakes won the whole thing.
Tony the Tiger.
Tony the Tiger.
Rules the roost.
Yeah, rules the roost, baby.
I like it, but it's not my favorite.
Okay, listen.
I love it.
An
I
incredible show for you again this week. I don't know if you know the name Trip Weldon, but if you follow BASS, you certainly know the name Trip Weldon.
Exactly.
He is going to be back with us on the show at 11:30. We're going to be talking about, I assume, some of BASS's plans.
Yeah.
How they're going to
And they may not
recover
know
from
nothing.
all of it. Exactly.
May not know nothing.
Well, the jury's still out as to how long this is actually going to go. We know in the state of Louisiana now, we are now following the president's guidelines with the shelter-in-place mandate until April 30th,
Right.
which means no school till April 30th, which means no church through April 30th.
No public gatherings.
No public gatherings of any sort. And so, therefore, I would imagine that Tripp and them are in that same predicament.
Oh, no
It's like,
doubt.
hey, we're not exactly sure, but
Right.
This is our plan. If it's over by such and such a date, this is what we'll do. And if it's over by such and such a date, we'll do something else. Also, I am really looking forward to this one. Straight up 12 noon. He is one of my favorite professional anglers in the MLF right now. Pro Andy Montgomery is going to be on at noon. And Mike, you can testify to this. Have you heard Andy Montgomery speak?
No, I have not. The only thing I've ever heard Andy Montgomery on is the Lucas Oil commercial where he's in his carport.
Yeah.
And I get so mad when that commercial comes on
We've had
that I don't even watch it
Why?
because his garage is clean and in order.
We've had him on the show
Everything's
before.
lined up. I
Listen,
hate people like that.
When he's on with us, straight up 12 noon, when he's on with us, close your, well, you won't be able to see him, so it won't really matter.
It's just radio. I don't have to close my eyes and McCoy.
You know how
fantasize.
you know how close I was with Donnie Akes.
Yeah.
He and Donnie Akes speak exactly the same. It's almost like Donnie is still alive.
And I knew Donnie, but not well enough to bring that back up in a memory.
We called Donnie Big Country. I mean, it took Donnie a good solid 15 minutes to say good morning. You know.
Yeah.
And when you hear Andy Montgomery, but that same positive vibe that you get from, come on, Andy. We got to get busy. Come on, Andy. There's one, Andy.
Yeah.
I love to hear him talk to himself in the boat because we all do the same thing. And he's not putting on a show for the camera. Come on, Andrew.
Yeah.
We got to catch one.
Yeah.
But he'll be on at noon. Also on the show today, we're going back to Lake Fork. Lake Fork guide Johnny Geis, our 4-time hooking up and tracking down Lake Fork Guide of the Year. And I noticed that Johnny the other day, he said that, you know, some people are still kind of scared of the coronavirus, that most all of his trips were canceling on him. And so he took his grandkids crappie fishing and took that live scope.
Yeah.
And those kids looked like they were having a blast.
It's like a video game to them.
Well, I would imagine, you know,
Sure
wouldn't it
it
be
is.
awful if your grandfather is the number one guy on a lake, and you don't ever get to go fishing with him because he's always got a customer.
Yeah.
You know, I mean,
I will say this with Johnny.
Yeah.
He spends a lot of time with his grandkids.
Well, he does, but
He does.
but when you consider the fact that, you know, there's those kids, and, you know, I mean, it's like, yeah, my grandfather's Johnny Geis. Oh my God, he's the greatest guy. I've been fishing with. Well, at least you got to go fishing. You know?
I think about the most technical thing I ever saw my grandfather did electronically or anything like that was put tinfoil on the rabbit ears.
I actually remember them days.
Yeah, buddy. Hold it right there.
I can
Hold
remember
it.
back
Just
to
stand
that.
there.
Yep.
We used to say that my little brother was the remote control.
Well,
Put it on 6.
Our
Now put it on 12. No, go back to 3.
our antenna was right outside our sliding glass windows, right outside the TV there, and you could twist the pole.
Oh, yeah.
And bad weather, Dad would say, "Hey, son, go out there,
Twist that
turn
pole.
it, go
You
turn
had
that
a
pole."
sliding glass door in your house?
Yeah, at that time.
Wow. Y'all were rich kids.
We
huh?
were rich. We
Yeah.
were very rich.
Yeah.
We were high on all.
Y'all had fresh milk every
We didn't
day.
have an automatic turner of the antenna. I had to go turn it. Yeah, we were rich.
We just took a piece of cardboard out of that missing pane of glass and reached out and did whatever we needed to do.
Real quick, we got a Bass Cash Bash update, and guys,
What?
they are catching some tag fish on Caddo.
Oh, yes, sir.
They are
Oh,
catching them.
yes, sir.
If you're not signed up, you're crazy. If you're going to Caddo, 19 bass over 10 pounds have been caught on Bleeding Bins since March 1st. Of the 19 certified lockers, only 4 were registered for Bass Cash Bash.
But you know what? You say only 4, but I'll bet that's a better percentage than what it's been being. Because that's
Could be.
one. That's
Sure
one
is.
out of 5.
Could be.
That's 1 out of 5.
And what you mean is only 4 of the people that caught fish were signed up. That's what you got to understand.
Yeah.
It has nothing to do with the fish.
Right.
It has to do with how many people caught a fish and were registered.
But the point that I'm trying to make is that, you know, in
That's a
years
high
past,
percentage.
you might have had 1
Yeah.
out of 19
Right.
that
right.
was there, and you're higher than 20% now.
Well, PD makes a good point here. It's not only the unregistered anglers who are missing out on an opportunity to win cash, it's also the Lake Association. Since Bass Cash Bash started hosting its events on Toledo Bend in 2015, they have made a $500 donation to the Lunker program for every registered angler who presents a double-digit giant, along with the $1,000 they pay to the winning angler. Also, Shreveport's Greg Ellis Andy Yeager, Jennifer Summers, Clint Constance, Mike Farr, and Terry Pickens of Kilgore, Texas, round out the busy weekend of winning anglers across the board with Bass Cash Bash off Caddo Lake. Each landed a $1,000 Bass Cash bag cash tag.
So all of those were
Caddo.
were registered.
Yeah,
all those are registered. Remember, the boat fish
Was
tag
caught.
caught
And-
by a non-participant.
Right.
And PD.
That's on Caddo.
Yes, and PD went out. They took the tag. They caught another fish, put it back in it, and put the fish back in. So the boat tag is still
In play.
And I think somebody caught the boat tag off Toledo Benford. I remember off his Facebook page, and they're looking for the person that has that tag so they can get it back into the lake.
But do remember now, the truck tag fish is still on Caddo also. If I
not
remember.
a truck tag.
Oh, there's not a truck
it's
tag.
just
Okay.
a boat tag.
Okay, so the truck tag is
Toledo
still on
will-
Toledo.
Toledo, yeah.
And I have said that before,
Okay.
but it was a mistake. It's
Yeah.
not a truck tag,
Okay.
just a boat.
Just a boat.
$149,000 tags and one boat tag on Caddo Lake.
Okay.
Yeah. That's
But
correct.
the truck tag is still out there on Toledo.
Yes.
Right.
Yes.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Okay. We got some news from Eccles that I know was really hard for you to write. Saw this on.
Because I'm illiterate? No.
Well, yeah, it's that number 2 pencil thing, the Big Chief notebook. But some news about the Lucky 13 tournaments. You had one this past Saturday.
I did. And that's what we did. We had a great turnout. We had 40 teams showed up to fish. The fish bit like crazy.
Yeah.
Which is not good for the people that did finish in the money. We had 15 teams had 13 pounds or more.
Wow.
Which was great for the 15 teams, but not so good for everybody because it really dilutes your payout.
Yeah. Yeah.
And I really felt bad for people like Copen and Matt Gorham, who had 27 pounds and only won $600.
Yeah.
But you take X amount of money, and it doesn't change. It has to do with your
The number
amount
of
of
people
interest.
who get in it. Right.
and then however many people reach that benchmark, it's got to be paid out to. So anyway, after that tournament, and I commend the fishermen. We set up on the porch there at Buzzard Bay Marina. Charlotte was at a table away from me. The guys walked up, set their bag of fish up on that porch, and stepped back out of the way. I was wearing gloves. They stood in never over one or two. They were always spread out. Great job, guys. Thank y'all for that. But that night and the next morning is when we heard that the Texas governor was ceasing all traffic from Louisiana into to Texas.
Mhm.
And I had to figure out why he did that to Louisiana. And it's because we have the highest rate of exposure per capita
Mhm.
of any
Yeah.
state.
Yeah.
And I said, okay, why is that? I mean, you're down here where it's warm. The heat's supposed to, if we ever get it, it's supposed to kill the virus. And it's got to be because we're not doing what we're supposed to be doing.
Well,
And I am at the top of the list. I think I'm bulletproof, and I haven't done it.
Mhm.
So I thought about it all day Sunday, and I just made the decision. And I had announced Saturday that we would do a Lucky 13 on Bistineau April the 11th. I hadn't
Mhm.
announced that.
Mhm.
And I've come to the conclusion that, yes, I need the money, but do I need the liability? Do I need the guilty conscience if something happens to anybody?
Mhm.
And I appreciate everybody doing it, but it's for your safety, our safety. Just because I don't want one of my friends to get sick.
Right.
yeah.
It's
So
just-
through April 30th, we don't have a tournament.
As of right now, April 30th, yes, we do not have anything.
And just to clarify, there are 2 states, and I look for Arkansas to be the next one. 2 states, Texas and Oklahoma, are really restricting Louisiana residents from coming into their states because of the hotbed that we are. But I found out yesterday you can go straight through Texas.
You just can't get off and
You
get
just can't
gas
get
or
off.
nothing.
When you exit off an interstate, they're stopping you there. Not when you cross that line. You can run all the way to El Paso if you can get there on a tank of gas.
Do you think
So you ain't got
I
enough
want you to, wait a
gas.
minute. I want you to think about this for a second, though.
Yeah.
How hard is it going to be for them to patrol if I drive to Dallas?
Yeah.
Are they going to be sitting on every side street and everywhere in Dallas just looking for Louisiana plates?
Yeah, I don't know.
No.
I have no idea.
No. So
I got to thank my buddy Chuck Clucher. He just sent me a text. It said it's got a picture of a dog, and it says, "You thought dogs were hard to train? look at all the humans that cannot sit and stay.
We're hooking up and tracking down at 11:30. The Tiger.
That's pretty.
We're hooking up and tracking down 11:30. The Tiger, Gary McCoy, the Ranger Iowa Pro Staffer Steve Graff, the old mud hen Mike Eccles. And if you happen to miss a segment of today's show, I mean, we're going to have Trip Weldon from BASS on here, MLF Pro, Andy Montgomery. If there's something that you missed, or maybe just want to listen to it again, just go to HUTDshow.com.
Maybe you want a recipe.
Yeah.
Oh, man, yeah.
Is Mike's duck recipe still on there?
Everything's on there.
I have more people ask me for that recipe.
Yeah.
Give me Mike's blackened duck recipe.
I've emailed that to several people.
Yeah.
I've got a new one we need to do. I got it from Homer Matlock, and it's blackened white perch fillets.
Oh, dude.
My God.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I'm in.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you get ready to test somebody on that, I didn't get fat accidentally.
No.
It was all, it was with purpose.
Self-inflicted.
I'm good at it, too. You remember when I used to be in shape?
You just put a biscuit
I
in your
remember
head.
we were all in shape.
I'm still in shape. I'm round as a shape.
You just put a biscuit to your head and pull the trigger.
There you go. HUTDshow.com, a site dedicated to you and the great outdoors. This segment brought to you by J&J Exterminating. Thank you, Randy and Jeremy. Daiwa Rods and Reels, Super ATV. Thanks to my brother-in-law, Dennis Boyd. Spro Lures and Gamakatsu Hooks, the #1 hook in the fishing world.
Here's your Seaguar Fishing Line promotion. All fishing lines are not created equal. If you didn't know that. Seaguar, they specialize in making lines that's tough, durable, and dependable. Fluorocarbon or braid Seaguar has a line that is perfect for what or how you want to fish. Whether it's Tatsu, Red Label, Abrazex, and Vizex, or their awesome Smackdown braid, Seaguar will take you to the winner's circle. Go to seaguar.com to find a dealer near you. Seaguar, always the best.
Can I give you something right now?
All right.
We've talked about fluorocarbon knots.
Yeah.
Forever. And the Abrazex, one of the best, and Vizex is just as good.
Yeah.
But the Abrazex, one of the best fluorocarbons that I have seen.
Right.
And we've talked about the Shaw Grigsby knot before.
Yeah.
That's the best knot to tie. Do you know all that knot is just a doubled trilene knot?
I looked at the trilene knot.
It's the old trilene knot. All you do is you just pass it through like through the eye of your hook like you're gonna tie a Palomar, and then pull it up and tie the trilene knot with both of those, and you got 3 tacks to pull off. I've been trying to do it the way Shaw Grigsby did it on the video for months, and I'm like, God, dog, man, you gotta have a degree in rocket science to be able to figure out how to do this. And he was doing it for the purpose of the camera. And then all of a sudden I got to looking at it, and I was watching Gerald Swindle tie the knot in a boat, and I said, well, dude, he spun it around 2 or 3 times, and I said, that's just a trilene knot. And that's exactly what it is. And the problem is, Gerald Swindle says most people want to cinch it down so tight, and pull it all up there. And he says, you break the knot then. Yeah. You weaken the knot when you pull it up, pull off very snug, and then clip it off, and you're done. So it's if you get ready to tie it, it's just a trilene knot double.
Well, I'm going to learn this Cole Garrett said there's another knot that he's using on his fluorocarbon where the tags are down.
Oh, instead of up.
I'd like that.
Yeah.
And I said, Cole, you got to teach me that. So
Yeah.
next time I see Cole, he's going to show me how he does
So,
that.
because when the tags are up, it will catch grass
Yeah,
and stuff
you
like that.
Now, one tip that will help you on that: leave your tips a little longer, your tags a little longer. They don't snag then.
Yeah.
I thought, well,
Gerald Swindle was so funny with his. He goes, "These people get out these magnifying glasses and everything, and surgical scissors, and they want to cut it right down to the knot." And he says, "Listen, if that fish didn't see that other 100 yards of line that was out there, you don't worry about leaving it a half inch long."
Exactly.
But the bad thing about what we're doing with a cigar is now that everything I've got in my shop, in my boat, is fluorocarbon.
Yeah.
And when I pick up a
Topwater bait.
topwater bait,
You need copolymer.
yeah, you can't. I don't have any. Give me some.
I don't have any either. I have to buy it.
Buy me
Monofilament.
some.
I can get you all the
I got a
cigar fluorocarbon. I can't get you.
I know that, but I mean, there's still. It just is. There's still a call
A need.
Oh yeah, yeah.
for a regular monofilament, because when you throw a topwater bait for about 5 minutes with fluorocarbon, it gets wet and it starts sinking, and it will sink.
Yeah.
It pulls the nose of your topwater.
That's why I was surprised when
Now, I
cigar.
don't mean a buzz bait or a
Right.
flopper,
No. But
Whopper
a
flopper,
straight top
whopper
water.
flopper.
flopper stopper, whatever.
But cigar, I was shocked when they completely dropped their money.
Brandon's over there laughing. Have you not seen this whopper plopper? Holy cow,
Dude.
Brandon!
I haven't seen
When
it.
they hit that whopper plopper, it's like the way you want to hit your own children.
Yeah.
Illegally, huh?
Yeah, I mean, you there are times, and you got a son, there are times you want to knock sparks off of him. Because I promise you, all he is a little you. And that's
the problem.
Yeah.
That's the issue.
That's how these fish
But
hit
you
that
hit him with a
whopper
whopper plopper, it'll leave a mark.
Oh, yeah.
I promise you.
You send him to the emergency room.
It will leave a mark.
And all you got to do is say, child abuse, we were fishing.
Yeah.
What did he tell you?
What'd you get it with?
Yeah.
A whopper plopper.
Okay, 10 things anglers can do during the COVID-19 isolation. And I'm going to tell you one of them. There used to be an old saying.
Well, we can't say that one on
There
there.
used to be an old saying. Wind from the
I
east,
can.
the fish bite the least. Wind from the south, you catch big mouth.
Right.
Wind from the west, fish bite the best.
Yes, right.
Wind from the north, you stay home, play with the baby's mama.
Yeah.
That's the old saying.
Yeah.
Stay home, play with the baby's mama. Number one thing to do, right?
Make little anglers.
Yeah. Call me
Okay.
Bill Dance. Call me Bill Dance.
Yeah. Number one, check the line on your reels and re-spool if necessary. If you own several rod combos, make sure to label the line size and date you put on that line on. Make sure you label that. Put your I do it on all my rods.
You
now.
have way too much time on your hands.
No, I'm that freak when it comes to
You
know.
have-
I want to know how old that
I
line
got
is.
the little stickers and put them on my rod,
Yeah.
right in front of the cord,
Right,
handle,
that works.
and
good.
wrote it on there with a Sharpie.
Yeah.
And within about 15 minutes, it
It's
was
all
wet
gone.
and smeared.
Yeah.
Couldn't read it.
Yeah.
Did you follow? My
He's got a
procedure?
label. He's got a label maker. He's
No,
got the raised.
no, not for that. I take the
I've
white.
seen your tackle boxes. You do use the label maker.
yeah,
thing.
but not on my rods.
Oh, okay.
I take white electrical tape,
Yeah.
wrap the butt, 2 wraps, write it on there, 15-pound F for fluorocarbon.
And then you put Scotch tape over that.
F stands for a lot of words, but it's fluorocarbon in this
Yeah.
case when I'm fishing. But anyway, and then I put the date, March of 20. That
Yeah.
way I know it's been on since March of 20.
Yeah.
So I do it on every one of mine.
I swear you deserve to
But,
catch
I mean,
more fishing.
When you write on there, do you put Scotch tape over the top of it?
No,
it doesn't-
it stays. And
what do you write on there with?
Permanent marker. It never comes off.
That's
But it's electrical tape. It's a plastic
Oh,
thing.
electrical
That's
tape.
the
Oh,
secret.
okay.
Yeah,
I
it's
got-
electrical
It's a
tape.
little old stick on tabs or
Yeah.
paper.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
Now those
okay.
don't get that. Get
Yeah.
white electrical tape.
Yeah.
And it works good.
Okay.
So
All right. I'll take your word for it.
I'll shoot a video and send it to y'all.
Yeah, because I'll never figure out how to do that on my own
Well, I
without
know.
some YouTube instruction
Yeah. I'll shoot one, send it to y'all.
on a north wind, huh?
Check your rod for bad eyes, and if you got bad eyes, somebody else check your rod and replace it if necessary. That's really with these eyes that we have on rods now, if one of them cracks, especially the last 2 or 3 on the rod,
Yeah.
it can really put an abrasion or stuff on the line.
And tell me this: how important is it if you're throwing a rod with nothing but braid ever? Is it still important to replace that? Those little ceramic guides.
Some braids are harder on line guides than others, and they make special guides now that it doesn't affect them whatsoever.
Yeah.
So there are line guides on certain rods that it don't matter.
I wonder why the rod where the line went through the inside, the core of the tube of the rod. I wonder why they never did take off.
I don't know. But you know what? My brother-in-law, Mike Craig, has, and they might be Dobbins rods, but the eyes are like, they roll around the rod.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, I've got a couple of rods that do that.
And I thought, man, I mean,
it's supposed to be good to throw in light lines.
I don't need that extra 10 yards to throw in or for
that
bad.
It's really more for handling. It's almost like the effect of a spinning rod.
Oh, okay.
With lighter lines. That's what those rods really originally were designed for. But anyway, number 3, Gary.
I don't have it.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. Well, we won't include you then.
That's okay.
Check all crankbait hooks and replace old, dull, or rusty hooks. That's something. Now, do y'all put those
Trocar?
No.
Those little plastic things on them so they don't.
It's a little tab you put in there that keeps your hooks from rusting. You can buy them.
No,
you break them off. You can date them and you put them in your hook box.
No, I know what he's talking about. You talking about the little things, the
little tabs.
It's an anodizer or something.
Yeah, no.
But you write on there the date. You can buy them.
Dude, you take this stuff real serious.
Hey, I'm telling you, Mike's right. He just made me aware. I should be catching more fish.
You should be. I mean, you should be.
With all I'm going through, I should be catching more fish.
Okay, we're going to give a free plug here. Mike Court. He just said he's at home cleaning reels now.
Yeah, there you go.
And so if you need a reel cleaned,
call Mike.
Yep.
How much, Mike? $15? Sound good? I'm talking to Mike Cork. I ain't talking to you. You gonna clean my reel?
I don't even clean mine.
I know it.
Once a year, I dip them in the lake.
Mike's idea of a clean reel spit shine. He's gonna spit on it and wipe it with a rag. Good.
Okay. And back to the crankbait deal. We've all got 1 or 2 crankbaits we throw, and 5 or 6 that we never throw.
Yeah.
Take one of the hooks off of the one you've never thrown and replace it on the one you're fishing every day.
Yep.
Yeah.
Instead of having to go out and buy new hooks.
Now, I will say this. I don't think you could afford a crankbait or you wouldn't pay what it would take to get good hooks on a crankbait. And I have seen a couple crankbaits that I like to throw, and I've gone out and bought premium hooks with, Gamakatsu hooks and put on there. And I'm going to tell you, your catch ratio is just unbelievably better with a better hook, but they can't possibly charge, because I want to say,
well, there's not,
like $7.95 for a pair of hooks. They can't charge you that $7.95 plus their profit margin on that.
Yeah.
Plus what they're going to charge you for the crankbait. They can put decent hooks on there.
And most of them now are put. Now, the old rattle traps.
What was the best bait ever made with the worst hooks on it?
Rattle trap. Them old silver rattle trap.
Them little aluminum hooks.
Most of your strike team.
$20. $20 get Mike Court to
$20 clean your reels right now.
All right, Mike.
Do I hear 21? Do I hear 21?
Do I hear 18?
Okay, while you're getting your reel clean, check the water levels in your marine battery.
Yes.
Yeah.
Raise the lid back there, pop the cap off of them. If you're not using the
lithium batteries, I'm going to give you. That's one more thing you don't have to worry about if you have a lithium battery. Right. You never have to worry about whether or not it's got plenty of water, or that everything's good, because you don't have to deal with that.
Right. Number 6, reorganize your tackle rooms. Good time to go do that. You ain't got nothing else to do.
And we're going to finish this one. Check all your boats and trailer lights and wheel bearings. This is strictly my opinion. Don't anybody go by it, but I think trailer lights and stuff are highly overrated. I've driven from here to Colorado without lights on a trailer, and this is honest to God. This is a true story. I was coming back from Clark's Marina one day, fishing down there, got to East 70th and Burt Coons, was going to turn left, and this snooty woman in a BMW pulled up on the right-hand side, made a motion where I rolled down my window, and she says, "You have a light out on your trailer back there." I just held up my beer, and I said, "I'm pulling a trailer?"
One more before we'll skip some of them. This one here is important. Update your electronics. Now's a good time to do that.
Okay.
You can do that right now.
I trust you.
Yeah.
We're hooking up and tracking down. 11:30, the Tiger. We are hooking up and tracking down. 11:30, the Tiger. Thanks for hanging out. Hey, the show wants to thank you for tuning us in today. This segment is brought to you by Sam Rayburn Marina Resort, Cypress Knee Outdoors, Nichols Department Stores, Bass Champs, and Commercial Power Equipment. Your lawn equipment headquarters for the Arklatex, located at 750 Burt Coons in Shreveport.
If you're looking for a great place to get away from it all and catch a fish of a lifetime, head for Lake Fork, Texas, and Lake Fork Marina and Motel. The big bass capital of Texas. Ken and Dana Donahue welcome you to come spend some quality time at their place. Great cabins, motel rooms, fully stocked tackle store, a first-class RV park, and one heck of a restaurant. Make this the #1 resort on Lake Fork. So, Lake Fork.
Say that
So that was close. So pick up the phone and make your reservations today by calling 903-765-2764, Lake Fork Marina and Motel, and home of Lake Fork Guide of the Year, Johnny Geis.
And on the Primo Target hotline with us, he is Trip Weldon once again. Trip, thank you so much for taking time out of your schedule. Are you sheltering in place right now?
I am. We're trying to navigate through this difficult and challenging the days we have. Hope you guys are safe and healthy.
Oh, certainly. And you know, one of the things that we've tried to project is that, you know, if you are one of those people, like a non-essential person who's not able to go into work or whatever the case might be, the way we stand in Louisiana, we're under essentially what the president has asked of us through April 30th to kind of shelter in place. But at no point did they ever outlaw, you know, getting outdoors, you know, as long as you're not congregating, getting around other people, and you're being, what do they call it? Socially.
Social distance.
The social distancing.
Yeah.
You know, you can do that really good in a 20-foot bass boat, I have determined. Even if you've got one of your own kids with you, you know, they're in the back of the boat. They live at the same house with you anyway. I would hate for us to think that because of all of this, that life has to cease. We got to treat it like we're driving a car. You know, you got your hands 10 and 2, and you're being conscious. You know that at any point, you know, that something terrible could happen, but you've done everything in your power to prepare for that, and you're conscious of your surrounding, your periphery, and things of that nature. But at no point should we curl up in a ball on the couch and die because of something like this.
Well, you're right, but it's so unprecedented, and you know, we're not a still society, as we all know. But with the same token, there are many measures that we need to take because what they've come out with the last couple of days is really, really scary. I was on Lake Martin this past weekend, and it was crazy the number of people on that lake. It was like really like Memorial Day or the 4th of July.
Mm-hmm.
And there were a lot of instances of where social distancing was not being practiced.
Mm.
But I think you're right. You have to be smart. I live on the Coosa River on Lake Jordan, and I went around to the little marina where I put in, where there were 2 or 3 people launching boats. So I just sat back and waited till everything was clear, because being a 64-year-old guy with on some meds that drag down my immune system, I am very, very careful. And everybody just has to be careful. But they have to, they have to heed the warnings that local, state, and federal authorities put in place. For instance, the state of South Carolina has closed all the public boat ramps because the way I understand it is the governor was upset with some of the things he may have seen, just the number of people, and again, the lack of practicing social distancing on some of the waterways.
Well,
so,
Trip.
There are a lot of moving parts, and it changes every hour.
Exactly. Trip, Steve Graff here. Thank you for joining. We appreciate you being with us today.
Sure.
Also, you guys, I'm sure y'all doing probably, BAS hadn't just completely shut down business. I'm sure y'all do a lot of teleconferencing and through Facebook or whatever, however you're doing, communicating with and on the computer. Due to the COVID-19, are there maybe permanent changes? Is this going to change the structure of not just BAS, but maybe other tournament trails and in terms of how they conduct a weigh-in? Is that something even being discussed at this point?
Well, well, first let me say that our offices in Birmingham and the city of Birmingham has pretty much put a shelter-in-place ordinance. All non-essential businesses are shut down because Jefferson County, where Birmingham is located, is the hotbed for COVID-19 for the state of Alabama. So we do everything we're doing pretty much is remotely on computer conference calls. We're very, very busy because we've had to put our schedule basically on hold and then looking out. Who knows when we're going to start, but it's our full intention to get in our whole season, which will most likely venture, into the fall. But to answer the other part of that question, I lost my train of thought. Sorry. We have discussed.
That's that medication you're on, Trip.
Yeah.
Does it have a cork in it or a screw cap on the top?
Right. If we can't have weighing crowds and so forth, we've discussed measures that we can take to protect angler staff, all of our digital staff, and people like that. So there are a number of things we talked about that we can do. We think we can do successfully, but moving forward, yes, I don't think there's any doubt that our entire world will change after this event.
Well, certainly, I mean,
everything we do in everyday life.
Well, you think about this. If tomorrow President Trump said, okay, coast is clear, everything can go back to normal, how long before we as a society would not have that fear in the back of our head and not want to be crowded up around a whole bunch of other people at a weigh-in or anything along that line?
Absolutely. There will be paranoia for a long time, I would think. That's my opinion. And then, if we did get the green light, you can't flip the switch and everything be back up and running. Let's hope our economy comes back around and is strong again. And in so many facets, of just what we do and so many other and all the other businesses and stuff around our country and around the world to get back up into operation. It's going to take a while.
Hey, Trip, Mike Eccles here, and I've been associated with y'all for many years, helping Chris Bowes when it comes to our area with the tournaments. And when I retired 16 years ago from the fire department, I started putting on local tournaments. I've used BASS as a model because nobody does it better. But my question to you right now, we have a four event circuit with a 2-day, 2-boat championship. We had the first two circuits, the first two qualifying events. The next one was April, this weekend. We cannot have. I'm worried about the first one in May. In y'all's business, if in the open, say in a region where you have the opens, you're going to have four of them. You have to cancel one or you have to cancel two. How do you handle that? Do you just, we're going to make those up when we can, or we go with what we've already had and the winner goes to the classic, or because I need some answers, because I know we're not going to have three and we may only have the two that we've already had before time for our championship.
Well, first of all, we appreciate your kind words about Bass. Bass has been doing a long time waiting before I got here as well. But, you know, everybody's going to have to make their own decision. Our goal is to complete our entire season. And what we're doing internally, we're looking and working with our host for possible, not possible, for potential dates. But we're getting several dates because we don't know, you know, if we'll get in the May tournaments. We're supposed to be in Orange, Texas, the last week of May and at first week of June. And right now, we don't know if that's going to happen. So we're looking out, you know, if we have to start back in July, if we have to start back in August. I think, it goes without saying, we're going to go into the fall. It could bump all the way up into December, but it's kind of deja vu for me, because when I started Bass in '91, most people know the Classic in summer, and then about 2 weeks later, we rolled into our season. We fished September through December, took a break over the holidays, and then started back, you know, in February. And so,
but that's when most of your schedule was based in the South too. At that point.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to be reversed. We're going to, you know, if say we don't get started until August, I'll just throw that out there. We would start up north and work our way back south.
Yeah, I was going to say,
that's what we used to. That's what we used to do after the Classic. I've been to the Potomac many times. We do Kendrick in August, or to St. Lawrence River the week after Labor Day. Kicking off our season right after the Classic.
Trip Weldon with BASS on the phone with us today. And Trip, I know that you really don't have any idea as to what a date might be that we could get started. But is there a timetable? I mean, if we were given the green light tomorrow, will there be a BASS tournament within 30 days? Do you have a timeline once you get the green light?
Yes, I would not say 100%, but yes, I would feel like we would be able to, where the Elite Series is concerned, to head to Orange, Texas, and then go to 4. We may be able to squeeze the tournament in prior to that if we were given the green light. But honestly, again, this is my personal opinion. With the situation as it is this week and this very hour, I'm going to be surprised if at least 30 days out before anything happens. So they're talking about this week and next week really being pretty rough weeks.
Right.
Yeah.
Well, we're pretty sure that April 30th would be the last day that. Well, obviously that was what the president suggested. So May 1st, before the possibility even really exists that things could change and it could be extended once again beyond that.
Absolutely.
Well, Trip, you guys know that that the world, the fishing world, the hub of that is BASS and the things that you guys do. So our hearts and prayers with you guys, knowing that the whole fishing world is watching you right now. And just like Mike, looking for some guidance and things of that nature. And I know that.
Well, if I screwed up, I just blame it on Trip.
There you go. You're set up to fail.
Yeah.
But know that our prayers are with you guys as you try to follow directives and still maintain some semblance of a great 2020 season.
Well, we just canceled Santee yesterday, and there was really the Santee Elite, and I think all the anglers, they knew. I mean, especially with the governor's order in South Carolina. South Carolina is like one of several states that are limiting travelers into their state from certain areas. Florida's got, my understanding, check you at the Florida line if you're coming in on I-10 or on I-75 or 95. And so they expected it. I think everybody is just in a different place than where we normally are. And we appreciate the thoughts and prayers. Our thoughts and prayers are with everybody, with our country, everything that's going on, and it's very sad to see what's happening today and what they're projecting could happen these next couple of weeks. But everybody has to be smart, stay safe, stay healthy, and by all means practice your social distancing. That seems to be the biggest thing. This virus evidently is so easy to catch. We don't know all the ways you can catch it. I'm just listening to what the experts say.
I'm just wondering if it's okay to go ahead and take a shower now. I mean, they've been saying wash your hands. I'm just wondering if when will we get back to being able to just take a shower?
I don't have much hide left on my hands.
Trip Weldon with BASS, thank you, brother, and we look forward to hearing back from you once America's been deemed safe and everybody's ready to go fishing again.
Yeah.
We can't wait to get rolling, and again, you guys stay safe, stay healthy. Hope everybody is just smart and heeds all the precautions everybody's putting out.
Thank you, brother.
Thank you, Trip.
We're hooking up and tracking down 11:30, the Tiger. Hey, thank you for tuning in. Hooking up, tracking down on 11:30, the Tiger. And if you're looking for insight and opinions on everything related to the outdoors, check our blog page at HUTDshow.com. Hey, this segment is brought to you by Candyman Pet Lodge, Jimmy Granger's Natchitoches Ford, Bass Cash Bash, United Rentals, and Toledo Town and Tackle. Tackle, groceries, apparel, or burgers fresh off the grill. Toledo Town and Tackle has it. And I noticed that Kurt put on Facebook the other day on the Toledo Town Facebook page that if you're hungry, you make your order outside or you call it in. I can't remember which one it was, and then they bring it out to you. Nobody's being able to go into the grill area right now.
Really?
So
I was in there Saturday. Went to the grill.
I'm just telling you what I just saw.
Yeah, well,
You calling me a liar on the radio in front of God and everybody?
Because of me.
Yeah, that was it. That was it.
This week's Super ATV Accessory of the Week, audio upgrade. Super ATV has a great option to make your ATV's rolling sound machine. Custom fit wakeboard speakers, pre-fit amp and sound bars will take your music to another level while adding to your off-roading experience. So the next time you hit the trails, make sure to upgrade your sound with the music system from Super ATV. To see the entire line of accessories, go to superatv.com.
Okay, outdoor news for you. First and foremost, if you missed the very beginning of the show, today is April Fool's Day.
Yeah.
And somebody decided it would be a funny prank to put it out there that there was a $500 fine being imposed on anybody that was out fishing in Louisiana during the governor's shelter-in-place mandate. That is not factual.
False.
That's
Fake news.
Thank you.
My good buddy Joey Hood, right before I left the house, sent that to me,
Oh, did
knowing that it would just blow my
yeah,
top of my head off.
yeah.
And he waited about 60 seconds, and he sent back April Fool.
Yeah.
And so I called him something that rhymed with stick.
Well, I got a call on the radio earlier this morning. Somebody said, "Dude, how are we going to handle this? We can't even go fishing now. $500 fine if you get caught fishing."
Yeah.
And I was like, "What are you talking about? You didn't see this on Facebook?" And I said, "Wait a minute. Right then and there, you said it all. You didn't see this on Facebook. Oh, that means that you need to pay attention to what day it is and that it was on Facebook. You can believe very little of what you read
We
there."
got a little outdoor news. Now, I just wondered if this would get y'all's attention. If it's something that y'all would partake in or look forward to. Synthetic fish to eat.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Will synthetic fish soon be served as catch of the day? According to a 2018 report from the UN,
You talking about man-made fish?
overfishing and global warming have been detrimental to fish stocks, and a third marine fish stocks are being fished at biologically unsustainable levels. Simply put, we are running out of fish, says Daniel Pauly, a professor of fisheries at the Institute of Oceans and Fisheries at the University of British Columbia. And the situation is getting worse every year. Maybe centuries ago we could live off hunting for our food, but we can't live off hunting today, and fishing is hunting. The notion of hunting in the 21st century to feed 10 billion people is absurd. So, some fish farms are trying to do their part to take pressure off wild stocks, but a handful of startup farms or firms believe they may have an even better solution to our problem: growing fish meat in labs. Picture it like a 3D printing, but where 3D printing is a fish, explains Michael Seldman, the chief executive and co-founder of lab-grown fish startup Finless Foods. Another startup company, Wild Type, based out of San Francisco, is on a similar mission but focusing on a different species, Pacific salmon. Isn't that crazy?
So, in other words, in the near future, we're going to be cooking and eating catfish-flavored Play-Doh.
Yeah.
Now, you know, I
Could be right.
I would be all against this, but I'm fixing to get a little risque for a minute.
That's my job.
Some people talk about, you know, some lady parts not being real, that they were plastic.
Right.
I don't have a problem with that.
No,
I don't.
that's for your pleasure.
I don't have a problem with that. You know, I don't care what your idea of real is.
Yeah,
you
it's
know,
entertainment.
I just, you know,
As long as it serves the purpose.
exactly.
Okay.
You know,
And if this man-made stuff looks and smells like fish,
yeah. They tell me that when you go to the restaurant and you order like, or maybe you go to the salad bar and they've got the stuff that's supposed to be crab in there.
Mhm.
It's not really crab.
it's not crab meat, but it is a fish
It's
type
a
of
fish,
fish
yeah.
with a crab flavoring.
But the point that I'm making is it ain't what you thought it was.
No.
But it still tastes good, so you go back for seconds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a better example of that is the McDonald's hot apple pie. Is not made out of apple.
Right.
It is made out of potatoes with apple flavoring.
I'll give you one even better than that. When you get ready to make a pumpkin pie, that pumpkin filling is not pumpkin.
Right.
It's cushaw,
Yeah.
which is a type of squash, a big gourd that's out there.
But you think about it, they can grow body parts in a lab now. Now Mike can take that a different direction.
Whoa,
I know he can
wait a
go
minute.
100 ways.
I'd like to turn in an order right now.
My wife is going shopping.
Oh, you mean they can make a brain?
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Or an ear. If you need an ear, they'll get you a new ear. Oh my God. I knew I went the wrong direction with that deal. But I mean, think about it. If they can do that, they can surely grow fish in a dish. You know?
Yeah.
God.
That sounds like a Dr. Seuss book. Fish in a dish.
Trump administration designates NSSF as a critical infrastructure. The National Shooting Sports Foundation is grateful for the Department of Homeland Security's inclusion of the firearm industry's manufacturing, distribution, retail, and range business as essential critical services that should remain open during the COVID-19 pandemic.
Now, the women on The View don't agree with this, in case you were wondering.
Oh.
But they would make good targets anyway. NSF, LMNOPQ has been working closely with the Trump administration and the Department of Homeland Security to convey the important role the firearms and ammunition industry performs for national security, public safety, and the ability for continued exercise of individuals' constitutional liberties and self-protection.
Can you imagine the lines at a shooting range if they had life-size cutouts of Barbara Pelosi?
Nancy
Pelosi up there. Can you imagine how long?
Now, I don't want anybody to take this and say that I made a threat. I'm just saying that now would be a good time if Nancy Pelosi was supposed to pass away in the near future. No, if she was supposed to, listen to me. Now would be a good time for it to happen. That way, when 10 people or less showed up at the funeral, she could blame it on the COVID-19. Because there ain't gonna be no way there when she dies.
Oh my God.
Do you want me to read more?
We got 2 more minutes.
Yeah, we got LDWF is offering approved online voter education courses through boatus.org and boated.com. The boatus.org course is free, and the boated.com charges a fee. I have no idea. I mean, why would you pay when you could do it for free?
Exactly.
That's why I'm married. A score of 70% or more. What? What'd he say? A score of 70% or more is required to pass the course. Once the course is completed, the website will provide a temporary certificate. LDWF then issues a permanent voter education card in 3 to 4 weeks. Now, tell me this. Yeah. Does it go anywhere in there? Does it? Yeah, there it is. If you are born after January 1st, 1984,
right,
you must successfully complete an approved voter education course to operate a personal watercraft. And I can tell you from my own personal experience,
that's 35 years old,
that it also applies to the ski-doos and stuff.
Jet skis.
The jet skis.
Yes,
you have to have it, if they're going to do that. So operators of a personal watercraft must also be at least 16 years of age or older.
And this is a great time. If your kids are at home, nothing to do, and you got jet skiers and
do their hunter ed, do their boater ed.
Exactly. Now's the time to do it.
Yeah. Do their ed.
Yeah.
Teach them how to wax your bow.
Teach them how to make synthetic fish.
Yeah. We're hooking up and tracking down. Oh, here in just a minute. This is going to be awesome. MLF Pro Andy Montgomery. And I'm telling you, your countryest friend that you know, I want you to be listening to Andy and tell me that he doesn't make your country friend sound like he came from Wall Street. That's next. Hooking up, tracking down 11:30, the Tiger. Well, look at us go. It is hour 2. Welcome to the Hooking Up and Trucking.
Welcome up.
Whatever. All right.
Here we go.
Welcome to the Hooking Up and Tracking Down Show, a program dedicated to all outdoorsmen with tips and info that will make you a better outdoorsman. Sit back and enjoy the legends of outdoors radio. Me.
Yeah. Kenny
These other
McCoy.
guys. Yeah.
No place else in the world have 3 less professional people stayed on the air for 11 years.
That are true legends.
Yeah.
13 years. Oh,
Yeah, 13.
Yeah. This segment is brought to you by the Red River Waterway Commission, Seagar Fishing Line, Lake Fork Marina, and Daiwa Rods and Reels, makers of the Tatula SV TW103.
BR549.
I'm just reading what you wrote.
You got it right.
The 2020 Editor's Choice Award-winning reel.
Yep. Get ready for spring with a new mower from Commercial Power Equipment. Top name brands from Toro, Skag, and the #1 zero-turn radius mower on the market today, Exmark. Need a new weed eater? Check out several models from Shindawa, or maybe a new blower. ReapMax has one that will blow you away. Go to mybigmower.com to see everything Commercial Power Equipment has to offer.
On the Primo Target hotline with us, Major League Fishing's pro Andy Montgomery. Andy, I don't know about these other guys. First off, I want to thank you for taking time out of your schedule to do this for us. I don't know about these other guys, but I'm a little bit
thanked him too.
I'm a little bit starstruck right now. I just want you to know I am a big fan.
No, he got a man crush on you, Andy.
Well, you remind me so much of one of my best friends.
His wife.
One of my best friends growing up. That you can't imagine. We called him Big Country. I'll bet you that you've been called that before in your life.
You are correct. I have been called that. Y'all, that was such a good promo. Y'all got me wanting to cut the grass.
There you go.
I bet you don't.
We'll send you to Paul. He'd be glad to see you.
So,
Yeah.
Andy, when you're in the boat, one of the things that I love watching the coverage of you is that you to me represent the common man, because you're constantly talking to yourself. Come on, Andrew, we got to catch fish. We got to do this, and you'll talk to your marshal. Is everybody else catching them? I'm the last one, or whatever. Whether you're leading or you're in 10th place in that particular thing, it's the same dialogue. You really are destined for greatness, and you prove that every time that you're on television.
Wow, that's a high compliment. I sure appreciate it. And yeah, I try to stay even keel. Never too high, never too low. If I do, I've made a lot of championship rounds and haven't won one yet. But when I win one of these things, I may hit that high that I try to stay even keel.
Yeah, your day's coming, and real quick, Andy. I got 2 guys on my left and one on my left, one on my right. I've tried to explain to them the Cup versus the Pro circuit. Would you break that down? There's a lot of our listeners and viewers that probably still are confused about what's the difference between the Cup Series and the Pro Series.
Yeah, so I guess the best way to do it is compare it to something that we're accustomed to. And what I do is I compare it to PGA golf. So we have our regular season event, which is the BPT, and then we have the 4 Cup events, or you could also call them majors. Like golf has 4 majors that you have to qualify for. So that's kind of how it is. We have a regular 8 tournament season, and then every 2 events, the top 30 in the points qualify for a Cup, or if you call them majors, it seems like people understand that a little better. So,
But the Cup Series, you don't know where you're going like you do with the Pro Series.
Oh, so you're talking about that side of it.
Yeah.
So, so on the BPT side, we get 2 days of practice. We know where we're going. And we show up just like we pretty much always have, and practice and go. On the Cup side, you do not know where you're going.
Yeah.
Smaller field, again, because it's kind of a major, you got to qualify for it. Only 30 guys. So we have the ability to go to these small lakes that if you don't live there, you've never heard of. That couldn't hold a 100-boat tournament. So, but yeah, we don't know where we're going. No practice. You're not allowed to listen to the internet. You're not allowed to search Google Earth. You're not allowed to do anything. Where on the PPT, we can do internet research. We can't confer or talk to locals, but we can do internet research, study Google Earth and things like that. But on the Cup event, it's complete silence until you pull up to the boat ramp.
You know, you talk about not talking to one of the locals in one of those events. And I have found so many guys who fish at your level that honestly, that's one of the worst things you could do is talk to one of the locals. Because you'll see these guys. I remember a number of years ago here on one of our lakes, Cypress Tree Lake, Lake Bistineau, and there's been a BASS event eons ago that was there on Lake Bistineau. But these guys came in, and it was in the fall, and they were fishing a jigging spoon out in the middle of the boat channel in about 16 feet of water, and almost won the tournament. And the rest of us are doing what we all do, fishing 4 to 7 foot of water, throwing a jig on a cypress tree or whatever the case was. But they brought something brand new to that particular body of water. And that's my question for you. When you show up at one of these lakes you've never seen before, obviously you're not talking to a local or anything along those lines. Are you looking for water that Andy likes to fish, or are you looking for and hoping there's fish there, or are you looking for bait or something along those lines to give you an idea that maybe there are fish there and you're just gonna have to figure out a way to catch them?
Yeah, no, you're so correct. A lot of our events are one how the locals think they should be one. So no, I try to fit it to Andy. I try to look for what's gonna fit me. And by the way, you just said eons ago. I'm gonna use that sometime. I can do vocabulary. So eons ago when they had the classes on Lake Wyland, I was the same way. I was fishing a lot of team tournaments, having a tremendous amount of success, and I would have bet everything I had that classic could not be one up the river. Like the top 4 was fishing up that river. So,
wow.
A lot of times, most of the time, it's one how the locals think it's not going to get one, or maybe in a creek. Just like at Ford, I was fishing a creek that I don't think was popular because I never seen really any locals in there fishing hardly. Versus some of them other creeks is just slam full of them. I didn't know that. I was naive, and I went in there. And had a good event. So you're so correct. I try to fish. I try to fish it my way. Try to make it fit my style. Sometimes that's how the local fish it. A lot of times it's not.
So when you get that map in your hand, what are you looking for on something? Like, are you a shallow water guy? Are you a river rat? Are you a deep water guy? Or what are you looking for, Andy, when you get that map in your hand?
I'm a shallow water guy, so yeah, I'm looking for shallow water and a mapping system, on our grass or whatever, are a big deal even when you're fishing shallow, just because you can see where the flats are and where the channel swings are and stuff like that. So I got a buddy, or he's the bass captain. Well, he hates when I say this, but it depends. It just depends on so much. It depends on time of year, what region of the country I'm in, water clarity. Just so much it depends on how I'm going to attack that lake. In the fall, if we get a couple of inches fall here, I'm really going to look way, way, way back in a creek or, the May, June time frame. I really like to fish flat, main creek flat. So I'm going to be looking for flat. So depending on the time of the year, we kind of study the map and see how the lake lays. I guess that'd be the best way to put it. Where the flats are, where's the deep water, where's the creek at, where's the creek that look like they have a feeder creek coming in instead of just dead end, pockets or long coves or whatnot. So a lot goes into that map study, but it depends a lot on the time of year.
Well, Andy, other than, and I know the answer you're going to give first, but that's not one I want. The biggest adjustments you've had to make going from fishing regular tournaments to MLF style tournaments. Naturally, it's trying to get 30 bites instead of 5 big bites. Other than that, what has been the hardest adjustment for Andy Montgomery leaving BASS FLW and going to a major league format?
Man, you signed my brain. The hardest adjustment. I guess I guess the hardest adjustment would be managing off day. Nothing really during competition. I love it. The score tracker, I love the score tracker. It helps me because in the past, I've always thought, sometimes I would think, man, I ain't catching what everybody else is. Well, in reality, if it's tough on you, it's probably tough on a lot of people. And you know, in the past, you think you needed 15 pounds or whatever by 9 o'clock. Well, in reality, you still, most of the day, you're 1 or 2 bites from where you need to be. These guys weigh 15, 16, 20 pounds at the end of the day. It took them all day to get there. So, score tracker actually helps keep me calm to know that I'm still in the game and I'm still right where I need to be. The biggest adjustment, back to your question, I just chased the rabbit. Back to your question, the biggest adjustment is the offset because we don't know where them guys are fishing. So in the past, you know, we know how much pressure our area got, right? Because we've seen who's fishing there that day. We know how much pressure it's getting. Well, with the off day, a lot of times we don't know how much pressure an area got. And fishing pressure is a big deal in a multi-day tournament. You know, managing fishing pressure and trying to find less pressure water. So that's the biggest adjustment and the biggest challenge is just not knowing how much pressure where you want the fish got on your off day.
But on your off day, you can watch a score tracker, right? You just can't watch any coverage of the event other than that, right?
Correct. So we watch score tracker and we know who's catching them, but we don't know where he's fishing.
Exactly.
And he could be fishing exactly where you at.
We just got a text from one of our regular listeners, Bubba Hathaway, and he says, ask Andy if he shot that satellite down that made him late for weigh-in.
Yeah, no, but it's turkey season just rolled around. I got some of the new TSS tech jails. You know,
Gonna reach out and touch somebody.
That tungsten might malfunction.
You know, you.
So you're a turkey hunter or a duck hunter?
Turkey hunter.
Okay, never mind.
You just
Mike's so disappointed right now.
You just brought up tungsten. What's tungsten been around now? 15 years?
Yeah, probably.
15 years.
Yeah.
And we've asked this of a number of really good professional anglers like yourself. And I'm anxious to hear what you would have to say. In the course of your fishing career, you know, we've had great innovations, you know, with lures and with electronics, the power poles, you know, the side imaging, the live scope, all of the new trolling motors that are out there that will do everything but make babies. Of all the stuff that's in your boat, new rods and reels that, you know, you can reel up 100 yards of line in 3 cranks now. Of all the stuff that's come out, baits, what would you say is something you wish you could go back 20 years ago and have that something we've got now that you wish we had 20 years ago?
Oh, power pole.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I remember, you know, when I first started going to Florida, we'd try to sink our motor in the sand to stop them, you know, because we fish so shallow down there. But in my time, power poles is as big as the innovation as anything in the sport. We use our power poles subconsciously. It's like we drive a trolling motor without thinking I need to push down, turn right. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
We do it subconsciously. Now it's almost like when we get a bite, we don't think I need to put my fire poles down. Our foot just picks itself up, sits over, and puts them down yourself. You know, it's just that's how important they are, and that's how much they play into the game. And we use them subconsciously, and I think that's the best compliment you can give to them.
Andy, we got a ton of other questions. You got a minute you can hang out with us a little longer?
Yeah.
Fantastic. Andy Montgomery from MLF. He's obviously one of the best there is, and we've got more with him on the way. We are hooking up and tracking down 11:30 the Tiger. Thanks so much for hanging out with us this afternoon. We are hooking up and tracking down. Make sure to check out our Facebook page at Hooking Up and Tracking Down. Like us and share for your opportunity to win some great prize packages. This segment is brought to you by Super ATV, United Rentals, J&J Exterminating, Spro Lures, and CCA of Louisiana. People working together for the conservation and coastal restoration of Louisiana waters. Mike, you got a word for us about the Bass Cash Bash.
Take it away, Mike.
Take it away. And
Somebody should have warned me other than that
All
writing down there. It says
all
Mike
right.
Bass.
Hey, Andy Montgomery's sitting on go. He's ready.
Yeah, he shouldn't have to wait till I get through premiere. Listen up, anglers. Don't be that guy. Sign up today for the largest bass tournament in America, Bass Cash Bash. PD Vincent invites you to take part in the longest running tournament of the year with cash and merchandise up for grabs, including new trucks and new boats. Lakes running through July 4th include Gunnerville, Lake Eufaula, Toledo Bend, Lake Fork, and Caddo Lake. Don't be that guy. Sign up today at basscashbash.com. And I'm going to tell you, this is not a gimmick. This is one of the easiest to win, highest percentage of tagfish caught event I've ever seen in my life.
Yep.
Amen.
Yep.
Amen.
Good
Thank
job,
you, PD.
PD Vincent.
And on the Primo Target Hotline with us, we continue with MLF Pro Andy Montgomery. Andy, one of the things that occurred to me is, to be a professional angler in today's world, you got to do a little bit of everything. Number one, you got to be able to find fish. Number two, you got to be able to catch fish. Number three, you got to be able to promote yourself and promote your sponsors, promote your products. Then you got to be able to educate. You got to be able to go out and give talks and these classes and things of that nature. What's the toughest part of being an all-around polished professional angler these days?
Oh, competing against these guys.
Yeah,
Those boys can catch a fish, huh?
Yeah. Because every year the competition gets better. It just does. These college kids and stuff coming in our sport are so far advanced. And I'm not an old guy, but even from where I came into the sport, the amount of knowledge that they come in with is incredible. So that's number one. You got to catch them, and you got to stay relevant in the tournament scene. To have all that other stuff you mentioned, the promotions, the product development, the talks, the classes. You better maintain the ability to catch them and compete, or all that other stuff's gonna go away too. So,
if you were a young angler though, and you were fishing on a college fishing team, what classes would you take if your aspirations was to continue to be a professional bass fisherman? What classes would you tell a young angler that you need this and you need this to continue your career?
Marketing would be number one. Public speaking would be very, very high also, but any type of marketing degree, and I guess ideally do some type of fisheries biologist with a minor in marketing. That's the total package there. If you learn how fish react, and I'm sure you have access to all kind of studies, even on bait fish and forwards. And I'm fascinated with a crawdad. I want to know a lot about a crawdad. So a lot of fisheries, wildlife, ecology type classes, and also emphasize the marketing side of it.
Andy, I got a quick question for you, and I don't know how you, even if you can answer this, but let's give it a shot. Next year, 2021, that's the last year that the initial 80 anglers have that free pass for that 3-year contract. At the end of that, they start to change, take the bottom 10 are eliminated. My question, does that change your mindset for next year? Because right now everybody's fishing pretty relaxed because they're not threatened about getting kicked out. But next year, it could be a little different ballgame, couldn't it?
Well, yes and no, because I don't see it being based on a 1-year average. I see it based on a 2 or 3 year average to see who is in the bottom 10. So it's really hard to just do it on a 1-year average. Everybody has a bad year.
Right.
Bad years. I mean, it's just
you'd hate to see somebody have a bad year or maybe get hurt or see what you just, it's hard to do something like that in the man's career or really put him step back, a major step back if he just has one bad season. So I could see it being based on multi-year. It's going to be based on multi-year deals, a multi-year standing, and we already know that. So the pressure's already there. Hey, you better do good every year so your average will be high.
Well, and that also, the pressure's there because you might have one good year and two bad years, and just because you had that one good year doesn't make you one of the premier anglers. That's going to continue. Andy Montgomery is our guest today, MLF Pro. Andy, this is our Gamakatsu Pro question of the day. While Major League Fishing is obviously a work in progress, are there any other tournament changes looking to be made, like the 2-pound minimum?
That's a good question. I think there was two changes this year that I was against the 2-pound minimum to start with. Let me say that, and I'm gonna say something else most professional anglers don't say. I was wrong.
I never hear those words in this show. I can promise you.
I was wrong.
Historically in fishing, a 15-pound bag is a good bag. Now, I'm not talking about the winner. I'm talking about what we all fighted for was the check line. Half the field got paid. 15 pounds was historically a good bag, right? And when you weigh 15 pounds, 90% of the time, you ain't got 5 over 2 pounds. You got 1 or 2 maybe in your bag under 2 pounds. So I was very concerned. If you catch a 4.5 and a 3.5, 2 3/4, then you got 2 114. And even when you catch 20, a lot of times you caught a 6-pounder and quarter 114 to get to 20.
Yeah.
And so I was very concerned with the number of fish, and it has went down. It definitely has, but I still think the excitement of the show has went up with the 2-pound minimum, and we're catching more 2-pounders than I thought we would. A lot of that has to do with catch. We caught a lot of big fish early in the season last year, and then we went to table rock. Well, that's what table rock is, and so the variable minimum with the 2 pounds, I don't know if we could see 2 pounds everywhere we went or not. And I don't want to limit ourselves to never going to a place where, a 2-pounder is a good one, like Lake Norman or Smith Lake in Alabama or whatever.
You come to Red River, you're going to be begging for a 2-pounder.
Exactly. You don't want to limit yourself on going to them places. So anyway, so the 2-pound minimum was a great thing so far. It's really increased ratings. People love it. All positive feedback. And another thing that's kind of hidden is the winner going straight to the championship.
Yeah.
In the first round, because at Okeechobee, I'm in like 4th place after the first day. I know I ain't got to catch a fish to move on, weight 0, right? So I don't got to catch a fish to move to the knockout, but now I'm in position to win. So I had to go out there and give it all I got to try to win instead of just
sandbagging.
We cut our hooks off. Yeah, we cut our hooks off in a tournament, so we won't catch them. We're practicing and shaking fish off because we know we got enough to make it to the next round and the weight is on 0. So that the 2-pound minimum really. A lot of positive feedback, created a lot of drama on TV and compelling TV or internet. And I think the win and you go in also created, now we got 2 races. We got that cut line race and we got a race to see who wins and go straight to the championship.
Well, Andy, didn't y'all originally just have, it was a 12-inch minimum, right?
Yeah.
And then they went to a 1 pound, which was a heck of a good deal. And I'm assuming that was to eliminate any questions about whether the fish, because there's a big, a 16th or a 32nd of an inch is a big deal when you're measuring a fish. But when it says 1 pound or 0.99 or
there's no doubt.
15 ounces, the scales are the judge. It's a deal. I think that was a really good move.
Yeah.
Yes, that was a tremendous move. Because you have 40 different officials that measure fish. It's okay if you got one guy at the bump forward. He measures fish the same way. He fans the tail the same way. it's cut and dry. As Gail says it, that's what it is.
Yeah.
So that's a big deal too. And I'm kind of curious. Everything's different, but hey, man, there's a lot of lakes where 16-incher don't weigh 2 pounds.
Yeah.
So, 2 pounds is a good one. Most all places in the country.
What kind of pressure has been added to you as a professional fisherman, having the camera on you constantly the whole time you're trying to fish, and all of us weekend warriors second guessing what you're doing or whatever the case might be? Do you try to not think about it, or is it constantly in the back of your noggin? Hey, the world is watching.
Yeah. No, you kind of grow accustomed to it. It's not really, and you do get credit now. There ain't no doubt. Now I have buddies that tell me, "Why didn't you do this? Why didn't you do that?" And or like I had one tell me at Fort, "Man, I watched you. Why the heck didn't you fish no docks?" Well, I did fish docks for 2 hours, and I didn't get crap. So they didn't put me on TV when I wasn't getting crap. You know what I mean?
It's all about exposure.
Yeah. So anyway, you just kind of forget the cameras there. Well, you forget about him in the fishing side of it. You still don't want to be scratching your booty or picking boogers. Like, what?
Well, how often do you go back and look at it afterwards and go, well, dang, especially if you had a bad tournament, you look at, dang, I didn't realize that, that's what I should have been doing. How often does that happen?
Yeah. I've never lost a tournament after it was over. I won every one of them. You know what I mean? And it is most of the time it seems so easy. You just barely miss it. You have a bad tournament. You just barely miss it. So yeah, that can be frustrating going back and watching.
All right, so many times standing at the weigh-in line.
Yeah.
So many. Well, we'd have won this thing if I had a 6-pounder get off right there at the boat, or whatever the case. Somebody cut me off on my fish. You guys. I mean, you're able to see that day why you didn't win and why you did win.
Yeah. Now, Andy, I got another question for you, and we asked Ott Defoe the same question last week after he won at Lake Fork and that stage 3 event. Who is the one guy on the MLF tour right now that you don't want sitting behind you or looking over your shoulder? You're worried about, man, if that dude's behind me, I'm concerned.
It'd probably be a healthy heart, Ott Defoe.
Yeah.
I told him, I said, because me and Ott go right? So we spend all our time on the road together. I said, you was hard to handle when you had a bad heart. Now you got a good heart. It is though. Yeah. Right now, Ott's fishing as good as anybody in the country. Obviously Jacob has the last few years too. And that would be a broad range, but they certain lakes or certain types of fishing that, when you got a guy coming down you, breathing down your neck, and he's in his wheelhouse, that can scare you too. For instance, if we're on a mat grass flipping place and you got Todd Flaircloth coming down your back.
Or Greg Hackney.
Greg Hackney, that's right. So overall it'd be Ott and Jacob, and then, there's certain lakes when you start hearing them names, that's what their strength is, and you think,
Andy, you cannot imagine how much we have enjoyed having you on and how much we appreciate your time. I hope that you and your family stay safe, and that this coronavirus stays well away from you guys, and that, I guess one of my biggest hopes is that we get to go back, to fishing and resume some kind of a normal life when this is all said and done.
I absolutely agree. I'm ready to go back to and get a little normalcy back in life. And you kind of hate, you don't know how much you miss it until it's gone.
Amen.
Yep.
Amen.
Ready to go back.
Well, brother, thank you so much for your time, and we look forward to visiting with you again. Right after you get that win, we want to have you back on the show. You understand?
There you go. Hopefully that's sooner rather than later.
Amen. Right? Amen. Andy Montgomery from the MLF. He's obviously one of our favorites, and I'm sure one of yours as well. We are hooking up and tracking down 11:30 the Tiger. We're hooking up and tracking down on 11:30 The Tiger. Thanks for being here. And if there's a portion of today's show that you'd like to hear again, or maybe you heard that you missed out on, well, make sure you tune in again Saturday morning, 6 until 8 o'clock, right here on 11:30 The Tiger. This segment brought to you by Primo Targets, V&M Baits, Jimmy Grange's Natchitoches Ford, and Lake Fork guide Johnny Geis. Make plans right now to go out with a 4-time Lake Fork Guide of the Year. He is Johnny Geis. Just go to mybigfish.com to book your trip today.
Here's your Seaguar Fishing Line tip of the week. Boat carpet, especially light colored carpet, can get really dirty with road grime, oil stains, or maybe a spilled soft drink. Most boat manufacturers tell you do not use industrial type carpet cleaners in fear of breaking down the glue they use to apply the carpet. One item that I have found is awesome at taking out stains and making your carpet look like new. Barbasol shaving cream. This stuff really works and will not harm the glue or the carpet. Simply apply it to a small area, rub it in with a sponge or a light brush, then rinse with water, pat dry with a towel, and it will look like brand new carpet in minutes. It'll take out all those oil stains that you got on your boat, guys. This has been your Seaguar Fishing Line tip of the week.
But don't you find the razor blade gets hung up in the
I was gonna say,
carpet?
do you use
Don't
electric
use a razor blade.
Do you use electric razor?
Yeah, don't use that.
Okay, I was just checking on that. Hey, he's on the Primo Target Hotline with us. One of our favorites. He is Uncle Johnny Geis, Lake Fork guide Johnny Geis. And Johnny, are you still taking the grandkids catching white perch or what?
Well, they only want to go that one day, so they had their fill, but they caught it pretty good, so I was pleased with that. I'm out here by myself now, scouting some new water, and got 5 big old crappie in the boat, and go check on some bass next.
Johnny, we are having a real tough time hearing you. It's almost like there's no volume at all. And he's got you turned up as loud as he can hear, so maybe have to get you to speak up a little bit for us. You said you got 5 big white perch right now. Are you still using the live scope to catch those?
Yep, that's what I'm looking at them today. They're a little scattered and sitting in the water. Can you hear me better now?
A little bit.
Every now and then, about 20% of the time.
Yeah.
I'm up the creek here, and that's probably what it's going to be today.
I've been up that creek before.
Yeah, we've been without a paddle.
At least you got a trolling motor. So Johnny, what about with the COVID-19 outbreak going on? What's the traffic on the lake been like? I mean, is there? Because a lot of lakes are saying that they've got like record numbers of people out on the lake.
Yeah.
Are you seeing that on Fork?
Absolutely. Like weekend, every day of the week. I don't see them working, so that's what's going on. I guess now that everything's pretty stopped, you guys coming over this way, that's going to affect our business a good bit. We'll get through it, and you guys go back up.
Johnny, what we're gonna have to, if I don't know if we've got a bad connection or what, but I'll tell you what, if you will just hang up and call right back, and we'll kill time until you can get back through, because we're not helping anybody right now.
We need to call him, right?
Yeah.
We'll call you right back.
We'll call you right back. Of course, Johnny Geis, he's up a creek. What creek is he up right now?
Could be up Mustang.
You think?
He could be.
No, he wouldn't be up Mustang. There's no fish in Mustang anymore.
Okay,
that's fine.
You tell me what
creek. No, maybe it's Little.
Creek?
Yeah,
that's what I would say.
That's probably. No, what's the one that runs right there close to Lake Fork Marina that runs? You run
back under the bridge.
Back under the bridge, and it's the big creek right there.
Ethel, I don't know.
Ethel,
I don't know.
Ethel, I couldn't have even told you Mustang.
Hey,
Yeah,
Johnny,
I know Mustang.
Johnny, are you there now on the Primo Target Hotline?
I can hear you guys good. Can you hear me?
It's a little bit better. A little bit better.
Don't move.
What creek are you in right now? I'm almost positive it's not Ethel.
No, it's Williams Creek right now.
Williams Creek. Okay. All right. Are the big fish still biting?
Yeah, they are. The first spawn's kind of winding down a little bit. There's still a few nest fish being caught, but on April the 9th, it's going to really happen again, and that's when we have the biggest concentration of bass come in then. Crappie, they're doing their thing right now, so it's Pretty good fishing. The winds and the rain we got lately is going to stain the water, but other than that, we're still catching them over here.
And when will the shad spawn start to kick in? Is that the next couple of weeks, Johnny?
No, it'll probably be mid-May.
Oh, okay.
They really do that. We're running a little bit late this year on the water temp, and we really only had that one little flurry of fast spawn when Frozoff showed up, and the shad spawn probably be May, early June, and that's when we'll catch a lot of big fish then as well.
Well, would you believe it's already happening on my lake?
A shad spawn
Yeah.
on Sibley?
Yep, on Sibley. Yep, found it last week. Noticed it last week. It was happening.
I'm looking at balls of shad right now out 25 foot of water just case, and I just caught one on a minnow accidentally in my fishing. So I think still holding down a little bit deep right now. They'll get to moving up before it gets up in the mid 70s.
Well, Johnny, are we in a phase right now to where the majority of the crappie are moving up shallow enough that the live scope is not a big playing factor, or will there just always, like bass, always be enough crappie out in the deep water that you can go out there and use that?
You know, everybody that's really catching a lot of crappie right now, they're catching them out 15 to 25 foot. The big female crappie, they have not moved up. Don't know if they will move up. That's what I'm fishing today. It's hard to catch them consistently shallow. You get them one day, and next day they won't bite, or you'll fish all those, and you have to go find a new crappie. Three or four of my guide buddies that's really good with this live skunk, they're catching a limit each day, and they're all pound and a half, 2 pound crappie. And I got 5 of them in the boat. I came out to try to find some of those myself. But the most consistent way on these big crappie is get out away from the bank, get out in the creek, in the spawning areas, and that's where they're holding right now.
Well, Johnny, the Texas governor's really kind of cracked down on, especially Louisiana people coming into Texas, and as well as Oklahoma's cracked down on it as well.
Our real question is, can we quarantine with you for 2 weeks?
Yeah.
I didn't know I got grandkids already to get up.
Well, I'll be glad to be your grandkid.
Yeah. But have the guides lost a lot of revenue? Right now, are people still coming and fishing with y'all?
Yeah, they have. I've canceled 6 days in the last week. And anybody that's flying in, we get a lot of out of state business as well. And I totally understand that. And people are just uncomfortable and a little bit nervous. And Mama don't want them to get too far away from the house. But we got people that filling in the dates when it gets canceled. But I don't really feel good about begging somebody to come fishing right now. So we just need to buckle down and stay safe and get through this mess and get back to life. I'm ready for it to get over with. I know y'all are too, and everybody in the world.
Well, give us a little education, Johnny. If I was coming over right now to bass fish, and I'm looking to catch the biggest fish I have ever caught, am I going to treat that like the crappie? Am I going to stay out 10, 12, 15 foot of water, or am I going to go up shallow and start looking for a bedding fish, or looking for fish that are going to be staging ready to move up shallow on that full moon?
I think the best way to be getting that 5 to 10 foot of water off the point, the three spawn females that haven't moved up yet. There were quite a few 10-pounders caught last 2 or 3 weeks. Looking at them on the nest, I didn't catch any of that big this time. We caught a couple of 8-pounders, but the real big ones are still sitting out, and they just haven't committed to come out to spawn yet. So I throw a Carolina rig and a fluke, and put that fluke about 24 inches behind the Carolina rig and drag it off these play points. And that's probably the best way to catch the big one. I will pitch the salty right now when they pull up and get around the reeds ready to spawn, but that's what we're doing.
Have you seen the topwater bite yet?
Not at all. I asked the guy about that today, that he's usually one of the first ones to get it started, and there has not been any busting activity on top, and no shad's kind of running yet. So just everything's running a little bit late, and the trees and the grass, and it looks like it's spring. So the water temperature, it did hit 65 here in the cove I'm in now. gets on about 70, we're gonna have some top water fish.
Well, in that last MLF event, the Stage 3 event, they made a comparison to how different Lake Fork was versus 1 hour south at Lake Athens. They were like, man, down here at Athens, everything's green, leaves are out on the tree, everything's blooming. But on Fork, everything was behind, and they just made light of how big a difference there was 1 hour away, two different lakes.
Yeah, it's kind of that cutoff zone right here, but we're in the spring, and dogwoods blooming, and usually pass them that time, but they're just held back a little bit. So we're still hoping the best is yet to come, and we're fighting hard every day to stay on top of it. But we just need something to change and get these trees turned on like it's supposed to be. And a little bit is the full moon when it comes, and like all the fish bank again, and hopefully the water will clear up by then and get a little better visual on catching the big ones when they come up.
My daddy always said when I was young that the brim start moving into bed anytime that you see the crimson clover starting to bloom. And I've been seeing crimson clover, the red top clover, blooming for the last couple of weeks. I can't imagine that brim are starting to bed up yet. Have you seen any indication of that?
None at all. It would go back to see that. I've watched on top of the trees. Believe it or not, in this deeper water, we're not catching them down on the bottom. They're up 6 to 8 foot. They're just extended. Some of them are just roaming out in the no cover, no trees, nothing. They're just kind of extended out there. And if you can sneak up on them and swing a bait or minnow, jig or minnow bite, you get that big old pop. And these are big ones. It's funny that they do like to spend a lot. I'm learning a lot about that. Looking at that scope, just seeing what's on the bottom, and I'm not seeing any brim around the first piles or anything yet. So that said, we catch a bluegill every once in a while right now, so there are some in California, but bedding activity just hasn't happened yet.
Johnny, guys, if somebody, because this stuff is going to clear up at some point, and you are going to be going bat crazy. If somebody wants to go ahead and make those reservations right now, obviously, your Facebook page updated daily with all the big pictures, and I really love the pictures of the grandbabies out there with you crappie fishing the other day. But what's the best way to put together a trip with Johnny, guys?
Well, let's just hope it's over by May, and that's if anybody really wants to come for some fabulous bass fishing. And I've got a lot of good days open too. Mid-May to the end of June. Only at this number, 972-800-3882. Get your trip lined up. If we have to postpone it and back it up a little bit, we'll do that too. But good time to come, 972-800-3882. And I know we'll all be ready to do some heavy-duty fishing by then.
And obviously the website, lakeforkbigfish.com. Check that out as well. Johnny, guys, thank you, brother. And you stay safe, okay?
Thank you, guys.
We are hooking up and tracking down 1130, the Tiger. Hooking up and tracking down 1130 the Tiger. Thanks for tuning in, and hope you have enjoyed today's show. Our final segment brought to you by Candyman Pet Lodge, Nichols Department Stores, Cypress Knee Outdoors, Bass Champs, and Lost Frontier and RV Park. Owner Chase Collins would like to invite you to come and see the new cabins, the RV park, and a brand new swimming pool, along with great food from the bar and grill. Go to Lost Frontier Park and Marina.com. I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to be typing a while. But once you get all those letters put in there, you're going to find some really nice stuff. Lost Frontier RV Park and Marina.com.
Yeah.
I need Vanna to turn a letter or something on that one and see all the Toledo Bend's newest resort there.
Okay,
Take it away, Mike.
All right.
I dozed off again.
I'm telling you.
This is Yadawa Best Times to Fish. This weekend is rated as fair to very good as we are approaching our next full moon next Tuesday, April the 7th. This will bring in what might be the last new wave of spawning bass. There's a 50% chance of rain this weekend with a high in the upper 70s and lows in the lower 60s. Best times to fish are going to be mid to late morning, Friday, 7:51 to 10:51 a.m. Sunrise will be 6:59, sunset 7:36. Saturday, 8:48 to 11:48 a.m. Sunrise is going to be 6:56, sunset 7:37. Sunday, 9:44 a.m. to 12:44 p.m. Sunrise will be 6:57, sunset 7:38. This has been your Iowa Best Times to Fish.
And your Candyman Pet Lodge pet tip of the week. Today's tip of the week comes from Pet Nutrition Joint Supplements. To ensure strong and healthy joints in your dog, follow these simple tips. Now, Mike, tell me, joint stuff, is that especially true with retrievers? I mean, because they have
I've never seen mine smoke one.
because of the hip dysplasia and
That's
stuff.
a different supplement.
Absolutely, it is. You know, and it's probably very few people do it, and I'm one that doesn't do it. But prevention
Yeah,
is to start them on a supplement,
Right.
glucosamine of some sort.
yeah.
And the other thing, Wayne Neeson gave a tip here last year that he said he never lets his dog jump up on the tailgate or jump off the tailgate.
Right.
He helps him.
Because of the stress.
The impact.
yeah,
Impact. Just
yeah.
constantly jumping up and down off the tailgate.
Right.
And we're the same thing. The people that think that there's nothing wrong with hopping out of the boat
Yeah,
and hitting the concrete
yeah,
are the people that are going to be laying in the parking lot one day
yeah.
with something torn.
Amen.
With the dogs, absolutely, we should do a prevention, some type of supplement for the bone and joint.
Be sure to find a supplement that uses fish body oil, such as salmon oil, not liver oil, which is high in vitamins A and D and lower in omega-3 fatty acids. Check that the glucosamine is derived from natural sources like shellfish. Ensure that there are added vitamins for overall health and wellness. Look for the correct dosage for your dog size and breed. So if you've got, one of those little powder puff Pomeranians, you're not giving them the same dosage that you give your 80-pound lab.
There's people that think they've got a dog. It's really just a big insect.
Follow these tips. It could help make a difference in your dog's fight against crippling joint health issues before it's too late. This has been your Candyman Pet Lodge tip of the week this week. Okay, you talked about the rain this weekend.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Last I heard, fish like water. That's just a rumor.
Yeah,
but
true.
But what about fishing or fishermen? Would you rather, Mike? Would you rather fish in a rain than on a bluebird day?
Oh, absolutely.
What about you, Steve?
Yeah, so as long as there's no lightning,
Yeah.
yes,
You're in.
absolutely. I am totally.
And I like the lightning.
Do you really?
It runs all you sissies off the lake. I get to see where y'all were fishing when y'all leave to run in. I go over there.
That definitely affects the bass more than it is the lightning.
Thundering and lightning really does. And I'm going to look this book up. You always talk about that book that you read, Buck Gardner wrote.
Buck Perry.
Whatever.
Spoon plugging.
Yeah, whatever. But I've got a book at the house that was written back when, the guy did scuba diving out of a station wagon, that's how long ago it was. That was his truck, a station wagon. All the pictures are black and white photos. Yeah. And he talks about this. He said how a little bit of bad weather does not really affect fish, but the thunder and the lightning will really put them into that ostrich mode where they actually tuck down, get their head in cover, and don't want to bite. So,
really?
Yeah. I've had some really good days when it was thunder and lightning, but when it gets severe, for safety's sake, get off the lake. Yeah. But it also will eventually shut the fish down.
Huh. Yeah. I'd never really thought about the fact that, I've always heard that lightning, they don't like that.
But
and it makes it, Do they get the same? Do they get the same thing if if there's a bunch of duck hunters and shotgun shooting on the lake and stuff? Because I don't know if it's the sound or if it's just the barometric pressure or what.
I would think it's the pressure. That's just my opinion. He's the duck man over here.
Yeah.
You have barometric pressure from shotgun shells?
God.
Y'all lost me.
Never mind. Never mind.
Real quick, FLW has extended, which like everybody else, till May 30th. All their tournaments have been suspended till after.
Till after May 30th.
They have suspended from up till May 30th. Everything between now and May 30th is suspended.
Okay.
Right.
Wow. So they've taken it a month longer than the president did.
They went another month.
Yeah.
Yeah. Sure have.
Tell me this. You guys educated guess on this. Because we went through this with Trip Weldon from BASS earlier. If everything goes back to normal on May 1st, because the president's mandate has gone through April 30th, if everything begins again on May 1st, how many days, how many months before our fishing world returns to normal? Like, boss, we got a tournament schedule at May 4th, May 5th?
The first Saturday in May.
First Saturday in May. If this thing ends on April 30th, are we going to fish that tournament?
We will fish a tournament, yes.
Okay.
We'll fish a tournament that day.
Yeah.
The question is, if I'm going to try to make up the tournament that we missed, the April 4th tournament on Toledo Bend.
Yeah.
I mean, there's so many options, and none of them are going to suit everybody's schedule.
Certainly.
The
Right.
deal is, should we just leave, say we can fish the first Saturday in May, which is scheduled for Lake Bistineau. Should we just go to Lake Bistineau and rule out the Toledo tournament? Should we go to Lake Bistineau in May, first week in June, go to Toledo, and then have the championship the second weekend of July? Because first weekend is 4th of July. We can't do it then.
Mm-hmm.
But your championship's flexible. You can move it. I mean, right?
Well, never had to before, but we've never been through anything like this before.
The deal, this is going to be where it was very difficult to schedule facilities months in advance. Now, everybody for 2 months is canceled.
And they're going to all try to be scheduled. Yeah.
So it is going to be facilities, logistics are going to be the nightmare for making this stuff up.
Well, you know what? And the condition that we have on Lake Bistineau is that the tournament was going to be, the weigh-in was going to be at the Lake Bistineau State Park. And we don't know how long that's going to be closed as the transition area.
Now, I know one thing, FLW with the BFLs and then the ABAs with the Bass Pro Shop Open Series, they're looking to do like we did last year. If you miss a tournament, we fish back-to-back days, 2 separate tournaments. We'll fish Saturday and Sunday. Tournament 1 on day Saturday, tournament 2 on Sunday.
But it's on the same lake.
And it is on the same lake. That's true.
Yeah.
So it's a little easier.
I would kill myself if I said, okay, we're going to go to
Toledo on this one.
Saturday and right. Sunday.
Yeah.
A little more difficult when you're running.
Sure.
So, but anyway, that's what will happen with
the deal is there's about 10 different ways to do it, and everybody wants it a certain way to fit their schedule.
Certainly.
Which is human nature, and I understand it. I'm just asking that whatever we decide, just understand that that's what, in my mind, I think is the best for the majority. I thought everybody would be okay with just, we're not going to Toledo. We're just going to hit Bistineau in May.
Mm-hmm.
And if we can't do Bistineau, we'll just have the 2 tournaments we had, and we'll just go to the championship based on that.
Mm-hmm.
And the more fishermen I talked to said, no, we want to fish.
Oh, yeah. And I think as a whole, most of us enjoy
there's not
the
but
ball
one team
tournaments.
right now wants me to go skip the May.
The team that's leading.
Angle
Yeah.
of the year, whoever that is. And I told the guy yesterday, I refuse to go look and see who that is.
Yeah.
I couldn't tell you for $1 million who's in the lead for Angle of the Year, and somebody's out there saying, "Oh, you're crazy." I refuse to go look and see who that is because I don't want my decision be based on somebody that I know being in the lead for something.
Take us home, Brother Graff.
Today we leave you with this. With COVID-19 social gathering being extended for another 30 days, take this time to reconnect with your family by doing things together. Have a traditional family dinner, schedule a movie night, play games, or get outside and go fishing. No matter what or how you connect, just make sure to take advantage of your time together. Hopefully we'll look back on this difficult time and realize It's when Americans put their families back together. For Gary McCoy, Mike Eccles, Jay Wiley, yours truly, Steve Graham. Thank you for listening. Tune in Saturday morning at 6 o'clock right here on 1130 The Tiger for more Hooking Up and Tracking Down.